This is DRF Race of the Day. Hi everybody, Dan Illman here with the DRF Race of the Day for Sunday, January the 2nd. It's race number 10 at the Great Race Place, Santa Anita. Let's throw up the field for the $100,000 Eddie Logan Stakes. Newly turned 3-year-olds going 1 mile on the turf. Pretty big field of 10 in here, and we've got a European invader, the number 4 Maglev, who looks very dangerous. This horse ran in group company last time out in England, was not disgraced in that race, and just seems like a very nice fit against some horses that are going to have to prove it, either on turf or at the distance. We throw up the Timeform US Pace Projector. The 10 Unreal is stretching out off a 5-furlong debut victory over turf at Golden Gate. I wouldn't be surprised if he shows good speed. Bally's Charm was a gate-to-wire winner at Del Mar last time out against Calbred Maidens. This horse does have some early lick, as does Handy Dandy, who I think is handy enough to be able to sit off of the pace. We also have the 1 Street Art stretching out in distance. It'll be interesting to see how this pace dynamic plays out at the end of the day. I do think Unreal, the 10, and the 7 Bally's Charm are going to be forwardly placed. We'll talk about the 1 Street Art, who was a debut winner going 4.5 furlongs. This was a really early 2-year-old for Keith DeZormo. Came off a little bit of a layoff last time out, about a 5-month layoff, and only was beaten a length at Golden Gate Fields going 5/8 of a mile. I think that race is going to serve as an excellent prep for Street Art. Now the question is, does Street Art really want to go this far? Bred for speed on both sides by Street Boss out of a Henny Hughes mare. But I like that effort off of the layoff, and with this inside post, he can save some ground. He did show some speed in his debut going 4.5. Maybe he could work out a nice trip while in the second flight or in mid-pack and come running in the end under Drayden Van Dyke. Big price on the morning line, 15-1 for Street Art. Barsabas is the number 2. Let's watch his last race, the Grade 3 Cecil B. DeMille. It was his second time on the turf. His first time was a victory going against starter optional horses. This was his first time routing, and he ran well. He finished second in this race at almost 50-1 odds behind a highly regarded winner named Verbal. The pace was fast. He wasn't really that far out of it, and he came with a good solid run. I think that winner has a little bit of a future, and Barsabas has been consistent since day one, but he seems to have upped his game since switching to the turf. He's a horse with enough tactical speed to work out his trip, 6-1 on the morning line for Tyler Bays. Cabo Spirit is the 3, another horse that has improved with turf and has improved stretching out in distance. Cabo Spirit just finished 3rd in the Cecil B. DeMille, the race we saw where he finished behind Barsabas, and he kind of made an early move to make the lead in that race and then flattened out. I think it was a good performance for a horse that didn't have a lot of experience rating and passing. In his first 2 turf races, he went on the lead both times, including a gate-to-wire maiden score 2 starts back. I think it was a good learning experience last time out, rating and finishing, and maybe if they decide to show some speed in here, this horse can go to the front. He's versatile. The 4 is Maglev, and this horse was 5th in the Milrifa Group 2 last time out, going 3/4 of a mile. Kind of an even finish in that race, not a great break. Basically raced towards the back of the pack, split some horses at the end, an even finish. Wasn't great, wasn't terrible. Distance, maybe a little bit of a question. This horse has some sprint in his pedigree, but Mark Black got a nice half-mile work into this horse over the training track at Santa Anita on December the 27th. He seems to be doing well, and these horses fit very well with the horses he's been against. He's been against some good ones overseas. The 5 is Handy Dandy, coming off a win in his turf and route debut at Del Mar. We're going to watch that race right now. He got a great trip at 25-1. He just was able to save ground in the pocket when it was time to ask for run. He ran. He earned a 75 Beyer speed figure. He appears to have found his niche going a middle distance on the turf, but he got a great trip against maidens, and now he's going to have to do it against tougher competition. The 6 is Come On Man, 15-1 on the morning line for a horse trying turf for the first time and getting blinkers. Tourist, the sire, certainly a good turf horse. I believe he won the Breeders' Cup Mile. And the dam, he is a half to a horse that was black type placed on turf in Maryland. So this horse does have some turf pedigree. Made his route debut last time out in the Gold Rush. He finished behind Boise, who's also in this race. Come On Man was kind of 3-4 wide all the way around the track, however. And maybe that worked against him. He was in between horses at the end, punching on. I think there's something here with this horse. He's probably going to need a little bit of pace help, and he's certainly going to need to improve. But I like that the blinkers are coming on. Maybe it'll add some speed and some focus. It can jumpstart a horse with some potential. Bally's Charm is the 7. Let's watch the maiden win gate to wire in his second lifetime start. Nice ride here by Jessica Pfeiffer. Put her right on the lead and just was able to get clear of the middle part. And this horse had plenty left. Now, this was a Calbred maiden special rate. I don't think it was the strongest field of maidens that Bally's Charm beat, but he did it the right way, and now he's going to show his speed likely against this group. Boise is up next. Let's watch Boise's stakes victory in the Gold Rush. Now, this horse was only beaten a half length in a stakes race at Del Mar 2 starts back. In the Gold Rush, you're going to see him come out and win this race with Come On Man finishing 4th in between. Boise ran just fine on the synth. He earned even a bigger figure 2 starts back, a 78 on that turf race at Del Mar. He seems like a horse that likes to make one run, so maybe a bit pace and trip dependent, but he's in very good form right now for an excellent ship-in trainer in Jonathan Wang. Derecho Dandy is the number 9. Didn't really fire in the Cecil B. DeMille, but go back and watch that replay again, folks. You have it right before. Barsabas finishing 2nd, Cabo Spirit finishing 3rd. Derecho Dandy didn't exactly have the cleanest trip in that race. This horse was a gate-to-wire winner in his turf debut 2 starts back, and they opted to sit off the pace. A very fast pace it was in the Cecil B. DeMille, and the trip just didn't work out for this horse. It's probably too early to give up on him, and he always seems to go off at a very good price. 13-1 last time out, double-digit odds in his last 3 races, including the maiden win. He'll be a price one more time, and I wouldn't be surprised if Derecho Dandy does a lot better than last time with a better trip. Unreal completes the field. Here's Unreal's debut. Another sort of tourist. This horse handled turf just fine, going 5/8 of a mile, got right up close to the pace, but I liked the way he sat off another horse, and when it was time to go, he drew away, winning easily, and was flattered somewhat when the 5th place finisher returned to graduate on synthetic with a 71 Beyer speed figure. I would expect this horse to be aggressively handled from the far outside post, maybe even try to clear off and get to the lead and the rail, but he's going to have to do work. Only a 2nd lifetime start, stretching out 3 furlongs. I had a lot of trouble with this race. All I know is I really want a price. I do respect Maglev, the 4. I won't be surprised if he wins. I want to see him do it in North America, going a route of ground. I wouldn't be surprised if Boise wins. He's a horse I probably want to use. But I was taking a look at my picks. I'm going to give Come On Man the 6 a chance, trying turf for the first time. He does have enough turf pedigree. He ran okay enough interest shown in that Gold Rush that makes me think there's something here. And maybe with the blinkers on and switching to turf at a giant price, 15-1 on the morning line, he can get over the hump in the feature race on a card at Santa Anita with plenty of stakes on Sunday. But it's our Sunday race of the day. Good luck.